There was a greater halt in the world when there was a COVID-19 pandemic, and everybody looked around one group of people called medical scientists or biotechnologists. This incident has already shown us one important thing is biotechnology is going to be the near future, or this field is definitely going to be a great demanding field in the upcoming years. Suppose if you are a viewer who are watching out this video to become a biotech researcher, then this video is definitely going to help you. So I'll be talking in this video the career in biotech research, what all you can become. So I'll be talking about why do you have to take up a biotech research, how much is the salary going to be in India as well as abroad, why it is demanding field, and what are the top companies that you can enter to become a researcher or into a government institute to become a researcher, everything in detail. So watch out the video, I'll be talking all sort of detail in one shot. So with no more delay, let's get started to the video. Hey everyone, this is Caroline Green from Biotecnica. So let's talk about the topic careers in biotech research, what all you can become. So you might be thinking, why do I have to do a research in biotechnology and why not another field? I'm going to tell you why it's going to be helpful for you. So first let's talk about why to pursue a career in biotech research. Very specifically, I'm talking about the biotech research. So this is going to be a wonderful, amazing career opportunity if you're going to start as a scientific field. In a scientific field, if you want to enter and become a scientist, then biotech field is going to be the near future, where you're going to involve a genetic engineering techniques and all sort of innovative techniques which are on the line. And it's definitely going to be innovative and exciting research project, because we know if you're going to talk about any kind of drug discovery, the ultimate, the remedy for any kind of research is ending up with gene therapy, which literally comes under a biotechnology. So it's going to be very innovative and going to be very exciting. Research projects are available in biotech sectors and invent wonderful and useful technologies. Of course, we might have experienced these things during our COVID-19 times. We have used a lot of RT-PCR and we understood the importance of biotechnicians, biotechnologists, medical scientists, lot of scientists who are doing researches in this field very specifically. So intellectually challenging, of course, it makes you to understand what's going to be the importance of this, and you are gonna wonderfully do a lot of research in this, and it's financially rewarding also. If I have to talk about biotech research, is it going to be a wonderful opportunity if you're going to think about the financial aspects? Definitely it's going to help you, whether it is in India or whether it is abroad. And it explores a wide range of interdisciplinary specialization. This point I would like to mention, because as a biotechnologist, you might have seen a lot of researchers who are from biotechnology doing even biophysics research or doing medical research or microbiology research or agriculture research. So this is definitely going to be a wide range of interdisciplinary specialization where you can end up in any type of research that you are passionate about. And definitely the most important thing is every researcher's life works behind to do something or to work for the welfare of the society. That's what we have experienced even during this COVID-19, where we were finding a really wonderful vaccination as well as a drug for the SARS-CoV-2 very especially. So definitely I would say pursuing a career in biotech research is going to be wonderful. But the most important thing, if you want to be paid a lot in a biotech research field, then definitely you need to upskill yourself. It doesn't mean like you are a biotech researcher, if you're earning less, it's not mainly based on the career that you have chosen. It's mainly based on the skill that you might have not been upgraded. So if you're going to have a very wonderful skill, you might be hired in the entire world because you have a lot of opportunity. And I would say this biotech research is going to be the most demanding research in the upcoming next 10 years. Suppose if you have taken biotech and if you want to enter into a biotech research, then I'm telling you, after 10 years of period, definitely it's really going to help you out. The next important question is, you might be having, yes, of course, it's going to be helpful for most of us, but how much am I going to get if I'm working in India or if I'm going to work abroad? So if you're going to work in India, I'm going to tell very specifically, this is an average salary when you're going to work in a research and development department in a company, or whether you work as a scientist or a researcher in any of the research institute in the government. It is variable. Suppose if you are working in research and department in a company, so you can become a biotech researcher in a company, any of the biotech company or biopharma company or clinical research companies, or you can go and work as a researcher in a research institute, government research institute, DBT or CSIR or ICMR, or anywhere you can actually work. Suppose if you're going in for a company, then how much is your average salary going to be? Almost 1.9 to 18 lakh per annum you're going to get it if you're going to enter into research and development. This is just the initial pay when you're going to starting as a fresher, we can say. What about a research institute? Suppose if you want to enter into a research institute and become a biotech researcher, then definitely I would say almost 80,000 is going to be the minimum salary for a researcher if they are starting a career in a research field, either as a scientist A. It varies from scientist A to scientist G. In certain research institute, you might see from scientist B to scientist G. So scientist G is considered as the honorary scientist who will be paid a lot. So this is based on the minimum salary that I have written, but it is according to the institution they are going to provide based on the pay scale value. So this is about the India. What about abroad? Yes, if you're going to become a biotech researcher abroad, whether as a PhD scholar or as a postdoctoral fellow, it is variable according to the institution, whether you're going to go in for US or whether you go for UK or whether you're going for Singapore or Australia. The stipendship or the amount of money that you're going to earn is kind of variable when we're going to talk about it. So this is a normal average range that I have written here, almost $93,119 you're going to get as a biotech researcher. So I would not say that biotech researchers are not going to get maximum amount, but I'm telling you in the mere days, it's actually going to increase than the amount of money that actually people are getting. So what are the key areas of research you want to go for? Yes, you have decided that you want to become a researcher and you know what's going to be the advantage in the near future, but you are puzzled of what type of research you need to choose. You can go for any of these research which I'm going to tell. Suppose if you're someone who loves to do genetic engineering or you want to go for gene therapy, then you can take up recombinant DNA technology. Of course, everybody can take it. And genomics and proteomics. It's a wonderful field. Even glycomics are coming on the line. So you can take a project on genomics or proteomics. Suppose if anybody is interested in fermentation technology, then you can definitely go for bioprocess engineering also. If you're interested or if you're from Biotech in biotechnology, then you can definitely go for bioprocess engineering, whether into a R&D department in a company or you can become a researcher in a research institute also. The next is plant biotechnology. If you're loving plants or want to do a research or discover a drug from a plant, definitely you can go for plant research based projects in a plant biotechnology sector. Or if you're loving to work on an animal, definitely you can go for animal biotechnology. And of course, if anybody wants to learn at a molecular level, then you can go for how the gene regulation takes place, or you can target any kind of mechanism. Many people would be love to do a research on stem cell research, then definitely that is also a wonderful opportunity. Enzyme technology, yes, this is actually a lovely technology where people are started analyzing the kinetics and all the stuffs in enzyme technology. Yes, of course, oncology always has its own heritage, like whether you are going to deal with a specific parts like breast cancer or whether you're going to do a stomach cancer or any sort of cancer that you're going to do, oncology is also going to be another field. And immunology, of course, immunology has to be taken care of. When COVID pandemic came also, we were literally into immunological techniques only. Parasitology, yes, if you are loving to have an exposure in microbiology or you have an exposure in microbiology, then you can definitely go for parasitology and molecular biology. And definitely if you would love to work in a computer field, I would suggest if you have a little bit of knowledge of bioinformatics along with all the stuffs, then in the near future it's going to be really helpful because you need to know about the computational studies also. So these are the key areas of research. Now you might be having a question like, I'm doing my BSc or I'm doing my MSc or I've just completed my PhD. So what are the job profiles if I want to enter into a research I can do? So first let's talk about if you have done your PhD. then you can become any one of these things. If you want to become a scientist, then you can apply for, initially you cannot apply as a senior scientist, you'll be applying as a junior scientist, whether as scientist A or B. So there are some certain criteria, like usually most of the research institute used to recruit candidates who have completed PhD with some 2 to 3 years of experience abroad as a postdoctoral fellow. So after that you can become a senior scientist also, and after that you can become R&D head. This R&D head is like, you can become a R&D head in a company, not as usually in a research institute, or division head also you can become in a company. Scientific advisors are seen even in research institute as well as in a companies also. Healthcare scientist, suppose if you want to go into a medical field, then definitely you can join as a healthcare scientist. And medical scientist also, medical scientist usually a doctor along with the assistance of a biotechnologist usually work, so you can also become. Suppose if anybody wants to enter into clinical research, if you know SAS programming, then definitely you can go for a clinical research oriented jobs, clinical biotechnologists or clinical research associate. Or if you want to enter into any of the forensic science department, then you can become a forensic scientist or research scientist. This research scientist only I was talking about, because in a laboratory in most of the government institution, you would see scientist A to scientist G, and H is also available. Like if you talk about DRDO, even H is available. And toxicologist, yes, of course, you can become a toxicologist. And if you love to do microbial technology, microbial biotechnology, if you have studied, you can also become a microbiologist in a laboratory, or biomanufacturing specialist researcher. And of course, genomic research specialist, and you can become a project scientist. Suppose if you're going to ask me, how will I get to know about all these positions are available in all the different institutes, which are really maximum, I am suggesting you can follow Biotecnica's notification, where you're really going to get some project assistant positions or research positions. Everything will be available from all the institute in one spot, so that you can start applying for this one. Okay. Now the next question is, I've just completed my MSc or MTech. Then can I become a researcher? Yes, you can join as a PhD. Before that, if you want to gain an experience, you can join as any one of these things. So research assistant, yes, of course, you can become a research assistant. As RA, you can become. Usually people would love to take PA, project assistant. So you can join in any one of the project, and you'll be working as a junior research fellow with a stipendship of stipulated amount. And if you have cleared any examinations like CSIR, ICMR or GATE or any sort of examinations, or if you have DST Inspire Fellowship, then you can join as a JRF. And you can work, and then you can convert them into a PhD also. Or if you want to enter into a company, you can become a project manager also, even after completing your MSc, but you need to have an experience of some 4 to 5 years. Then definitely you will be recruited as a project manager in a companies. I'll be talking about some list of the companies. Or you can become an associate scientist in a company or in a research institute. Usually in a research institute, PhD candidates are required. In a company, usually it is going to be, if you're going to have some 10 years of experience, then you can directly be recruited as an associate scientist also. What about an undergraduate? Okay, I've just done my undergraduate degree. Can I become a scientist now, or can I become a researcher now? Yes, there are opportunity, but it's limited. If you're going to pursue your MSc and PhD and then you're going to land it up there, then it's definitely going to help you. But even this has some research techniques that you can learn from here. You can become a scientific analyst, or you can become a technical assistant. Yes, but this is not equal to a scientist, but you will be involved as a researcher if you're going to complete your undergraduate only. So these are the fields that you can actually apply through. And if you're belonging to any one of these things, then you can definitely look around this. The next important question is, I just want to enter into a government institute or government research institute. Then what are the government research institutes or undergoings are there where I can enter? Yes, I'm going to talk about those also in detail. So you can literally see here. So Indian government research institutions. So National Biotechnology Board. Yes, if you want to become a biotechnology researcher, you can enter into National Biotechnology Board, which has several organizations beneath this. And of course, DST, Department of Science and Technology. Department of Science and Technology laboratories are going to be huge in the entire world, in the entire India. So you can literally apply for this one. And CSIR, of course, there's going to be CSIR. CSIR laboratories are also maximum. So whichever, like you can go for CSIR laboratories, you can go for CSIR laboratories in Hyderabad, you can go to Lucknow, you can go to many different places of CSIR. And ICMR, yes, of course, Indian Council of Medical Research is also bound there. If you want to know more about this laboratory details, like how many CSA are there, you can check in over there. And Department of Atomic Energy, if someone who loves biotechnology and would love to learn physics also, then you can definitely go for Department of Atomic Energy, which has list of institutions which will be coming under that. If you want to know more about this one, you can literally go to their website and check what are the ICMR institutes are there, CSAR institutes are there, Department of Atomic Energy are there. You will get a lot of lists. And this is ICAR, Indian Council for Agriculture Research. If you want to enter into this, you can either write ICAR examination and then you can enter for, and definitely DRDO. So Defense Research Development Organization is also available, where even a biotech graduates usually go over there either for a summer internship or for a project training, and then you can become a JRF. And of course, Indian Institute of Science. These were some of the list of government research institutions which is maximum takes the candidate for the researchers, but there are a lot many more which are actually available. Okay, this is all about the government research institute. What about the biotech companies? Can I become a researcher in a biotech company? If your question is going to be there, yes, you can also enter into R&D department. So most top 10 companies I have listed over here, you can see, which is Serum Institute of India. The next is Panacea Biotech, Biocon, SIRO, and then Shanta Biotech, Indian Immunologicals, Bharat Biotech, and Samya Biotech India, and there are many more in India. So these are the institutions usually recruits a biotech researcher in R&D departments. So you can also become a researcher by entering into any of the biotech companies. Okay. Now, if somebody is looking for a biotech research opportunity abroad, then which country do I have to select? So I've listed the biotech research hubs in the entire world. So you can look around any one of these countries, we can say. United States of America, of course, everybody know. After India, if you want to apply to any countries abroad, then definitely you can go for United States of America, Germany, France, Singapore, Switzerland, Japan, Italy, United Kingdom, Spain, and of course Canada. So these are some of the options, but I have not listed out the job profiles that are available. Of course, you can enter as a researcher. If you have an experience for some period of time, then you can start applying, whether it is in any of these countries. So these are some of the biotech research hub in the entire world you can apply to. Now the question for you, yes, I have known everything for now, but how can I become a researcher? That's going to be your question. I told you, you can become a researcher whether you have an undergraduate or master's degree or PhD, but you will be entering as a scientist only when you have your PhD plus specific experience or postdoctoral positions. So first, initially, you have to get your bachelor's degree in biotechnology. It can be any of these things, a general biotechnology or biomedical engineering or biochemistry or plant biotechnology or animal biotechnology, microbial biotechnology, whichever it is, you need to have your bachelor's degree either of BSc or BTech. Then after that, I'm going to tell you, if you want to enter into a company or if you want to enter into a research laboratory, it's always important to have an experience. But you might be asking me a question, how can a fresher get an experience? You can get an experience doing a part-time work in a research laboratory or gaining an internship opportunity or pursuing any sort of project assistantship in a specific laboratory. By this, you will definitely gain an experience. So whether you have completed your bachelor's degree, it's always important to have your experience. It can be any of these things. You can become a project assistant. You can be joining as a technician's positions, doing purification technicians or water purity, quality tests, plant tissue culture techniques or laboratory technicians or genomic technicians. You can gain any experience out of these things. After that, suppose if you have done BSc, then you have to do MSc. So obtain a master's degree and then pursue your PhD by writing any of these examinations in India, or you can pursue your PhD abroad. And after that, it's really important, if you want to become a researcher, it's always important to maintain the skills. If you learn some techniques, you always have to be in touch with the technique. So maintain the skills and knowledge that you have acquired during your bachelor's, master's, or during your experience or during your PhD and your postdoctoral time. Now, the next important question for all of you is, what skill do I have to have if I have to become a researcher? Yes, these are some of the skills. Of course, you need to have certain skills, technical skills like PCR you need to know. If you love to enter into genetic engineering, then you need to know cloning techniques. You need to know RT-PCR technique. You need to know ELISA technique, CRISPR-Cas or NGS. All these techniques you need to know. Apart from that, you need to have an idea of understanding the research methodology. Initially, you'll be writing a hypothesis, you'll be having a hypothesis and you'll be designing your research project. So you need to understand the research methodology, and you need to have a critical thinking ability, of course, analytical ability. You need to know the interpretations of your research and knowledge of all the research equipments. When you're going to do a research, you need to have, suppose if we talk about an HPLC, if you know HPLC, definitely you can enter into a biopharma company or biotechnology company if you're going to have that skill. So you can become a researcher in an R&D department in a company also. An advanced knowledge of biotechnology concept. It's not only important that you have your practical skills, but you need to have a basics of your biotechnology concepts also thoroughly in mind. Of course, as a researcher, you definitely need a problem solving ability. So these are some of the skills that you need to have if you really wanted to become a biotech researchers. So these are the things that you can all become if you wanted to become a biotech researcher. So today I've been talking about the most demanding career research opportunity if you are from biotechnology. Of course, do not worry, it's going to be the near future, and you have your average salary, whether it's in India or in the biotech, and you can choose any one of the research careers that you are really passionate about, and you can take up any of the positions, whether you have done your bachelor's, master's or PhD. And there are a lot of government research organization which releases notification for many different postings, as well as companies also recruits candidate for R&D departments, and you can enter into any of the companies or research institute in the entire world according to the research hubs that I was talking in the world. And you can also become a research biotechnicians, and then you can also acquire the skill and become a wonderful biotech researcher, making a lot of welfare for the human community. So I believe that this video is helpful for all of you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to meet you back again with another video. Thank you, all of you.